Hello everyone and welcome to Games, Comics and Crafts.
In this video, I'm looking at Captain Henry and the Graveyard of Time, issue 1. So this is the first issue of Captain Henry and the Graveyard of Time. Originally, I'm denied whether to pick this one up, and then it got to be, yet again, it was one of the fifth issue if I bought 4. So I got it the week after it came out, and I recognised the suit on the front for the guy who was the Gas Cloud from, or at least a very similar suit from the guys Gas Cloud and Hellboy. If this is a Hellboy tie-in, it says from the World of Hellboy. At the moment, there's nothing in it that makes it that way. It's basically about a guy who develops this suit, and they get this machine, and apparently they can traverse into the afterlife. And he gets this big stick, and as he goes in there, that's got this kind of jolting in it. They can somehow communicate across the borders. So whether or not he's actually there, or I don't know, but he's talking to them, and they need to power up the stick, and this snake attacks, and then apparently everything goes wrong. The suit malfunctions, and he disappears and leaves the suit empty. And apparently he wakes up in this weird area, which has got all these kind of wrecks and ruins, all these machines and all this kind of stuff around. And as he wanders through it all, he comes upon this ghost, which is apparently inhabiting the this bear statue, which apparently is what he went in the first place. And that just kind of disappears and wanders off. And while he's in there, he's kind of looking around. He hears this ticking clock, and this giant clockwork monster kind of comes along, and he tries to fight it, and he doesn't. He runs away and gets cornered, and that's where we are. So yeah, so I'm not quite sure. It's it has its own thing as a kind of like a Victorian sci-fi thing. Yeah, okay, it works. It's quite cool. As a Hellboy tie-in, okay, if you say so. There must be some kind of link between this suit and the suit there as well. Artwork, not too bad. Some of the faces look a little bit off. Some of the things, but I mean that could just be the people that he's drawing look a bit off as well. But yeah, all in all, not terrible. Um, I don't know how many issues it runs for, but I mean, it'd be nice to see what happens at the end and how it kind of rounds itself off. But as a fan of Hellboy, it's not the best Hellboy story I've read. Um, And even recently, like the Hellboy and Love stuff, I'm not particularly enjoying that as much as I used to enjoy the BPRD and the proper Hellboy series we had when it first came out, or the Hellboy miniseries we had when they obviously first came out. Um, but yeah, it's just another Hellboy. It rounds out the Hellboy universe. So that's all pretty decent. But obviously, we are getting a new Hellboy series where Hellboy is trying to reclaim Hell, I believe, after Hellboy in Hell. So that'd be worth a look. But yeah, Hellboy without Hellboy, never quite as good as it could be. And there's I much prefer the 1940s, 1950s stories where we had kind of like past stories and figure out what's going on. But yes, it's a real shame what happened to Hellboy, because obviously, yeah, you put the finality to the story yet again, and then you went back and told some more, and then you have to try and fit it all around. BPRD was the same problem. You kind of destroyed the world, and then what do you do after that? You can only do so much. So yeah, these are fine, but at the moment, not quite living up to the peak of Hellboyness that I've experienced before. But yeah, so I think we'll see what happens in issue 2, and we'll figure out what's going on from there. So that's pretty much all I can say really about this one. So thanks for listening, and hopefully I'll see you on another video very, very soon. Bye bye.